Excellent. Excellent. All right, I'm going to give us a few minutes to... Still, I keep moving that thing so it's not right in the line of sight because I haven't taken it down. I'm going to move my chair over a little bit. How about that? Get it out of that bed. Drives me crazy sitting there. Anyway, let me light a little bit of smudge. I'm going to light some sage here. Maybe. Got my fan on. It's kind of blowing my flameage. Yeah, that might not work. I don't want to burn my dress. All right. Waiting for notifications for y'all to show up. Join me this afternoon. I almost said this morning. Let me go here and go here. All right. A couple different decks today that were like, there's a couple other decks that are speaking to me to come out. I have the other ones. I just don't have them all out because I thought I was more prepared than I am to be here right now. Okay, so my name is Marty Forrest. I am, here are the labels that we wear. I'm an empath, I'm a healer, I'm a recalibrator, frequency holder, Blu-ray. Hi Mel, good afternoon. Blu-ray, let's see, grid holder. I don't know, there's lots of them. We all carry a lot of the labels, so yeah, let's see. We have the inner child deck here also, because it's just such a great one. And the talisman. All right, how are y'all doing? It's been I was just listening to Felicia. She was wrapping up the live, and yeah, I was listening to her talk about the portal, the things that are coming, the I didn't finish my introduction either. The eclipses that are coming. Alita, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let me move my big one smudging us. Move it over here. We are heading into eclipse. As she was saying, we would not see them likely here in our continent. However, the energy of eclipses will still impact or affect us. The fishing guy, hello. Hello, hello, say hello. And where are you from? Hello, hello. Ashwani, good to see you all. Bunch of hellos there. Okay, so today, let me see. Thank you for the happy Lafayette, Georgia. Awesome. Yes, Georgia. Georgia. All right. Shadow. We're entering the field of shadow integration and reclaiming the fragments that fuel our next level wholeness. That's the gist of the conversation. It goes with whatever spirit's bringing through, what I've been present to, and what shows up for me. So that's part of it. And then, all right, see ya. So I saw when I were visiting my neighbor, she has cancer and now she's bedridden, and we just became fast friends after we moved here. We didn't meet for a while though. We didn't meet for the first couple of years because they just kept to themselves. We kind of kept to ourselves, and anyway, we met. We started walking together, and then one day she couldn't walk anymore. She's in a walker in a wheelchair because the cancer had come back. And what I get present to, hey Dennis, is how would you live? How would you live your life? This is part of our shadow work, okay? So it's not meant to be this heavy kind of question, but it's how would you live if you knew you only had a limited amount of time? What would you do different? What would you be implementing? What would be important to you? When I am with somebody who's in their last days, months, whatever it is. I get very present to that. I do my best to live that way anyway, but I get very present to, these were my last days. If someone had said you only have this much time, what would I do different? What would you do different? What would be different in your life? Would you go and speak to people that you haven't spoken to in a long time? Would you attempt to reconcile relationships that need some repair? Would you not? Would you just move on? Like, what would be your priority? It helps me to get a new perspective on my world when I start to make other stuff important or it gets in the way. Right? When it starts to get in the way of what I'm doing because I'm getting stuck in the weeds, in the details, it's time to step back a little bit and take a look at what's important. What feels good, what feels easy, what feels aligned, what lights me up and makes me feel joyful and happy. What are those things for you? As human beings, we can so easily get caught up in what it appears to be. What's triggering me? What's going on in my world today? Rather than staying focused on what we're doing and why we're here. It's human nature. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are times to step back and take a look. And part of where that comes from is when I get into, I've had a lot of different coaches in my business, and every time I attempt to do something with them, follow their structure, it just doesn't work. Because I want someone else to do it for me. That's a long, long pattern. I keep looking externally for someone to do for me what I must do for myself. I'm not here to follow someone else's patterns and structures and the ways. There are some great tips and tools in them. Doesn't mean I won't utilize some of them, but I'm not here to live that way and to follow someone else's formulas. So this is about deepening our trust level with ourselves. Well, hello. Hi, Felicia. She just finished her live. So if you haven't seen that yet, go over to Felicia. Hi, Nora. Go over to Felicia, Be Soul Light at 379. She just finished up the day 9 of the portal, the galactic portal today. And I am her, there's 3 of us. So there's Felicia, and then there's myself here talking about the shadow side. And then there's Donna on Instagram, Amethyst Rain 23, who does sound healing. So 3 of us collaborated to jump into this 10-day portal, and this is day 9. 1 more day to go. And I know that you're talking about the eclipses coming up, and so I was talking about them. If you knew that if you were given a death sentence, so to speak, what would you do different in your life? What would become really important? What would become right here in your face? There you go. Oh, all this other stuff just needs to fall away. It's not that important. But we can get so caught up in that. Because why? We carry all this stuff. We carry this stuff with us. We carry all the traumas, many of us have done a lot of deep work already. And we've cleared a lot of stuff. Now it's showing up, the more subtle things. And when you think you've done all the work, and then that thing starts to show up, it's like, I kind of go, what the hell? I thought I'd already done all this. And I have. So have you. But we're going deeper. We're going up the spiral, but we're drilling deeper. Right? We're going up the spiral, collecting all the tools, all the ways, collapsing all the timelines, but we're drilling deeper in to get to that deep, deep core. So we can continue collecting the fragments that we've given away so freely. Yes. Where are you at today? What questions do you have today about the shadow side, this shadow transformation, work, whatever you want to call it? The pieces that we disown. We've disowned them a long time. And then I've been saying this all along. We have those glaring ones that are right in our face. And then we're fine tuning. So when I got sober in 1994, I got sober. And there were many places and things and that I don't really want to talk about right here that I did, that when I went and made my amends, my 12-step work, I felt like exactly like I was collecting fragments of my soul. I was collecting pieces of myself. Yes, the fine tuning. I was collecting those pieces of myself that I had given away and that I had carried with me. And we are at a point now as we're fine tuning that we're ending soul contracts. I just had a conversation with a client who has a friend with benefits. They realized, I don't want to do this anymore. Time to end the contract. They had a past life contract. And they're much more committed to where they're going and what their dream is and what their priority is than continuing to carry on in this relationship that happens once in a while. While they're good friends, to ending that contract. And then clearing out the womb. So we did all that stuff. We cleared out the womb, ended the contract. And it was incredible to see the shift that happens and the lightness that comes as a result. Super powerful. I get that collecting pieces of myself. I've been doing this. Yes. Every time we clean up something that happened in our past that we disowned, whether it's with someone current or a long time ago, maybe we've talked to the person, maybe we haven't, maybe they're not here to talk to you, but every single time we have the conversation to clear that energy, if we can stop getting in the weeds of the emotions in our trauma and remember that it's energy. Hi, Donna. Remember that it's all energy and we're clearing the energy. It makes it so much easier. There's things that just aren't going to feel good when we're doing this. That's just the way it is. Because our head gets in the way. We can step back and go, oh, it's just energy. It's all energy that's living in my body and it's time to clear. And sometimes it takes those conversations. I've had people that went and had conversations they were so afraid to have. And the other person had the same kind of energy around it and they were afraid to have the conversation. And then when they one of them finally picked up the phone, they had this amazing conversation that just transformed the whole energy of all the history. And every single time we do this, we're clearing and breaking the patterns in our ancestral line. And that's the key. That's the key for all of us that are here. If you're here with us, if you're here now in this place and this portal with me and all the people that are here, that's your role. Which is why it feels so intense. At this point in our juncture in time, in every past life, we died. Now we're moving through it, so it feels much more intense, and we're clearing all of those generations. It's not just us. It's not just about us, although it feels like it. Right? So it feels intense at times. Sometimes it feels really painful because our head gets all wrapped up in it. And sometimes I go, where the hell did this come from? So if you're having a reaction to something, if you're triggered by something and it's out of proportion to what just happened, it's either when you were really young, something happened, or in another lifetime that you've brought through. So that's the clue, right? It's your clue. If it's out of proportion to what just happened, because there's things that in my earlier relationships that were just not okay. And my second husband would be like, oh, that's your dad's stuff, or that's your, I'm like, no, that's not. It's perfectly aligned with whatever's going on. But when I was off the hook about what my reaction, that's when I had to pause and take a look at, oh, there's something really deep right there. So if you have some of those things showing up, just take a look. What was it when you were a child? And it may be something that feels completely unrelated. Just go with it. Just go with it. view it as energy, breathe into it, take care of that inner child, let it move. It's so, we will complicate it. I've just learned that over the years that I've done a lot of inner child and I've done a lot of courses on inner child, and it doesn't have to be really difficult. There are some things that are going to be really difficult because there's a lot of history. There's a lot of people that have suffered a lot of trauma. A lot more than I ever did. It still doesn't have to be difficult. It's all energy that we are transforming. The whole world, this whole world is energy. We're transforming it. I pulled this deck out of the Shaman's Dream. Sorry, this card out of this deck. I can talk. Heart home. Compassion. Having compassion for ourselves. Coming home to our own heart, our own space. We make this about other people. And we were victimized, or they did this, or they did that. But I'm going to say something that you might not like very much, but we signed up and said, I'm here to do whatever this is right here at this time and place. And I agreed to certain experiences that brought me here. So I can tap into the core and remember that I'm divine. I am part of source. My core mission here is to be love. So I had a lot of experiences that were opposite of that to help me remember. I believe this of me. However, it's not an easy pill to swallow. The mind's like, oh, hell no, I would not have chosen this. Not ever. Somebody didn't explain it very well. No, it's a soul level. This is not a conscious brain thing. It's a soul level agreement. That's where we were ending those contracts. We can end those contracts. But when we were children, things happened. Things happened when we were kids, growing up. And all those experiences we create, we automatically, when we're hurt, wounded, we slap a layer over it, another personality over it to protect ourselves so we can survive and never feel that pain again. And then we create layer after layer after layer. That's why we're peeling layer after layer after layer to get to the core. And sometimes I might know what the core is, but it shows up in so many ways and in so many behaviors and so many beliefs. You know me, I wanted to know before I signed on the dotted line, though. Well, you might in your mind. We all want to know that. We do. I want us to know. But that at the soul level, the soul like, we're going to experience the remembering that we are love, compassion, joy. We're remembering that. Some of us have extremes of that to bring us back to this point. I think of that song, I never promised you a rose garden. There's always the thorns, right, on the journey. It's always worth it. So coming home, that's our heart home, right? If we come from that space in the heart, listen to the heart and stop listening to the head, because the heart is the driver, the head is the servant. It's meant to be that way, but we weren't taught that. So we've let our head lead. Yes, balance, polarity, not black and white. Oh my gosh, my black and white queen here. Balance can be great. There was one of them I talked about balance. I don't remember what day it was. But during this time, I talked about balance. You can go look at the transcripts. They're there on mine. Not everybody has a transcript on, but sometimes I like to go through and just read it so I don't have to listen to the whole video. And I talked about balance. And balance is wherever you're at in the moment, balance is not equal. It's not equal. Because when life happens, I'm going to be balanced over there, focusing on whatever's going on over there. Right? When somebody goes to the hospital, boom, I'm there. And that's where you gotta find your balance in the moment. We'll go, oh, I'm out of balance. I need to, well, maybe so, but it's finding the balance in the moment and stop making up the story about I'm all out of balance. Find your balance in the moment. Find your balance where you can take the time to walk outside and take a breath. Put your feet on the earth. Because we're not always going to walk in balance. It's a moment to moment thing. And with these energies coming in and off the charts, whew, come on, it's a fine line to be in balance. Sometimes the balance is to lay your ass on the bed and rest and stop trying to push through things. Because it's not going to work anyway. And it's going to take a lot of effort, and then you're even more tired because you're pushing against instead of listening to your body. I'm telling you, if you don't listen, your body's going to lay your ass down. The Wise Woman of Wonderland. This is hidden wisdom of the hidden realms. Stop trying to push through everything. I know, I've done it. I'm not speaking on my ass like I don't know what I'm talking about. I've done it. Push, 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 produce, produce, produce. Keep going, keep going. You know what I'm telling you? It just doesn't work. If I'm not in the flow, it's not going to work, and it's going to take a lot more effort. I'm going to end up sick because I won't listen. That's what happens. Or you end up in the hospital, burned out. Maybe you have there's mental health days now that you can take. The Wise Woman of Wonderland. I have no idea what this means. What do you think? Look at that. It's a man, it looks like, on the... Maybe it's a woman. I'm not sure. Rabbits are all about fertility. And then you got the mushroom. I'm going to look it up. It's a number 21. Slow down. Take a breath. Turn your blinkers inward. Bring your energy into you. And pause. And feel what's showing up for you. Embody it. Embrace it. Breathe through it. When we inhale through the nose, I count to 8. Somebody said today, I can't do 8. I can do 4. I'm like, do whatever number works for you. I don't care. Make sure you're taking that deep, deep belly breath. All the way so your lungs are fully expanded, and then you exhale. A circular breath, but exhale out your mouth. Inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. You move the trauma, you move the energy. My body is still trying to get totally on board. I have bigger bursts coming from bigger amounts of resting. I give myself permission now. Yes, because you are a projector in human design, right? Projectors need a lot of rest, and we get more done in our short bursts of energy than people who constantly go and go and go. We get a ton done. I get a ton done in an hour or two. And I used to just try to go and go and go and go constantly, and it was just kicking my ass, wiping me out. Yes, I am too. It's a human design, if you're not familiar with it. They have free human design chart. Do you remember the name of the author? I can't remember. It was quite enlightening, actually. It was enlightening to know my human design. It's fairly new. It's been around since I'd say the 80s, I want to say, 70s or 80s. It's a long, it's kind of like, it's a whole study though, or the whole study. I have not studied it. I know my type. I know I need to rest. Karen, thank you, Karen Curry Parker. Thank you for that. And there's, I forgot his name. The one who actually created it. He's still alive, actually. The Wise Woman, Integrity and Compromise. The Wise Woman of Wonderland brings integrity to thought, word, and deed. She lets you know that as long as you're in the flow of honesty and being true to your word, she keeps you under her protection and care. When she appears as your ally, she signals a time when honesty pays off, yielding greater dividends than you expected. You'll be thankful that you remained faithful and loyal to your path. She reminds you that compromise isn't always an option. Stay true to yourself first and foremost. Although it may appear that you could lose something as a result, you can never lose what is truly yours. Can't make it up. Uru Hu. I hope I said that right. I'm not sure, but there we go. Um, Getting honest with yourself. Staying in integrity with yourself. Listening to your body and honoring what it needs. I don't have time to rest. I don't have time to sit down right now. I have things to do. I'm telling you. Your body will stop you. It's easier to pause and take a rest and then keep going than to try to keep going and be slammed down for 2 or 3 or 4 days or however long that is. Yes, scarcity mindset. It is scarcity mindset. If I don't keep going, there's a scarcity mindset, but there's also I must keep producing to prove my worth and my value. Prove I'm worthy. That was a lot of mine. Push, push, push. I had to keep proving my worth. And therefore I had to keep producing to prove my value. You know what? It was never enough. No matter how much I did, it was never enough. I would die trying and it would not be enough. And who am I trying to prove it to? That's the next question. Who are you trying to prove that you're worthy to? Your parents? Your dead parents? Or parents who don't have their own worth and so they pass that on to you? Had nothing to do with you? So that's where we come to that reprogramming. Is clearing the parent stuff. The parent messages. This is where that generational ancestral stuff comes in. Yeah. They passed on what they were taught, and they passed on what they were taught, and it goes down to the great, 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 greats, all the way down the line. The original blueprint, what we are remembering about ourselves in that pure energy form before the NAA came in and started implanting fear through religion and politics and government and all those kind of bodies. Our pure energy, our original blueprint, was not based in fear. It was based in pure love and energy and creation. So the layers that we're clearing is all the shit that's been layered on top of. So that's what we're remembering. Weeding through, peeling the layers, clearing the energy to remember the original. Our original energy blueprint was clean, clear, and pure. Will we ever get to that exact space? We're human. We're in a much denser body. But we've forgotten how powerful we are. And the energy here, now, supporting us, helping us clear, helping us move through, helping us hold more light. Yesterday I was out in the sun and I'm like, it's the when the sun's downloading and infiltrating and giving me really beautiful, good medicine in my body, the conflict comes when the shadow stuff or the beliefs and the behaviors and the things that I've been programmed with can't get out fast enough or be cleared fast enough. That's where the symptoms can come in because we're being flooded with so much light. We have to clear out the old stuff to hold more light. We can't hold more if we keep holding on to the old. So bringing those fragments, bringing ourselves together, integrating. Clearing this stuff is totally coming full circle now. I'm totally getting this. I'm so happy to hear that. Yes. Value worthiness. I've lived there too. I'm shedding that now. That's another layer. It's a big layer. That's a really big layer. We're clearing to return to light. Yes. In the past lifetimes, our bodies weren't designed to hold that much light. And so even though we came in as healers and magicians and witches and whatever you want to label it, even though we came in as that, we tried to suppress it, but we were often killed for it. Or we died because we couldn't hold that much. And in this lifetime, rather than this is a 12,000 and some odd 100 years where the dramatic changes happen, the catastrophic changes happen on the earth, that's not happening right here. We're moving through. Vitamin D. Yes, vitamin D. Hi, Jason. Yes. Good medicine. It's good medicine. It doesn't take a long time. You go out and you stand in the sun and just let it fill you up. We came here as light. The stuff got in us and confused us. Yes. There have been many, just the fear infiltration and the programming, the control. Yeah. So the brighter light we become, I've been hearing this pretty consistently recently, and you'll start to notice, maybe you've already been noticing, people just drop out of your life. Some people that haven't been around in a long time might come back in because there's something to complete. Not usually, I haven't seen it very often that there's something to pick up and keep going with. Unless you've come into the same frequency. But as we continue to move up, false evidence appearing real. Yes, fear. As we continue to hold more light and vibrate at the higher frequency, and we continue to grow in that, the people that are not matching, they're just not going to stay. There's nothing wrong. Make sure for yourself you understand there's nothing wrong. Not a good or bad thing. You just are not on the same vibration. You want to listen to country, but you're putting it on rock and roll and mad at the radio that you're not listening to country. It's not going to happen. And so when you have two people in a different vibration, it's not going to happen. Now, sometimes we go like this. We go in and out of our relationships. Sometimes we grow at different rates in our relationships, and they can still work. It's those that become the gap becomes too big, and so they vibrate out. That's someone I've known for a long time, and I'm just done. I'm done working this hard at trying to make this work. And I went, oh my God, that's very old for me. When I met my current husband, that was the thing I'm done. If I have to work that hard to make things work, I'm not doing it. And I didn't realize that. Because in relationships, we set up the rule in the beginning often, and if we're not growing together and adjusting as we go, then we operate from the same rules. And then we come to this point where we're like, why is this not working? Why is it not flowing? Oh, because I'm still trying to work hard at making it work. Once upon a time, we did that. We've all probably done it. That's what we've been taught. And there comes a point, we're in the flow, we're in the energy, and it's like, you know what, I don't need to work that hard at it. If it's not flowing and it's not easy, it doesn't mean there's not going to be bumps in the road. But if it's not flowing effortlessly, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to expend that much energy trying to make it work when we're not vibrating together. And when I'm doing that, I'm full on in fear. I'm in fear they're going to leave me, or they're going to reject me, or they're going to whatever story I attach to that. Let your relationships be easy. And if they're moving out, let them move out. I was just explaining this morning. If it's to be, it should be more flow state. Correct. Now, That doesn't mean there won't be some bumps in the road, especially as we're clearing out and we're integrating the fragments. There may be some bumps. When we're in the course and on the flow, there's a different vibration. Then it's not working. How to hear that? Because we all have like a vision and something that we're working toward or we're taking steps toward in a business or a relationship. Sometimes there's going to be bumps, but they're not walls. That's the distinction. They're not walls. They're just bumps. And then we course correct. When they're walls, it stops us. There's nowhere to move. We keep it in the wall. Well, we could go around the wall and keep going. Doesn't mean that we take that relationship with us. It's like you may still have something yourself to learn. It's not black and white. It's not black and white. There's a really simple, this is fabulous. Okay, so just take a moment. Let's just do this together. Take a moment. If you're in a place to close your eyes, just take a deep breath, close your eyes. Calling in your benevolent divine team, creating that safe, sacred space for you. And imagining yourself, full on imagination, walking in your favorite place. It could be the mountains, it could be the beach. Some people like the city, wherever your favorite place is. Walking, feeling that healing energy. And you're walking and you see this door. Your imagination, you're wondering, why is there a door in my favorite place I'm walking? And as you go to walk by this door, you hear a knock on the door. Well, isn't this interesting? Walking in my favorite place and there's a door and somebody's knocking at the door. I think I'll open the door. And who's behind the door? Some version of you as a little child, usually. Wow, hello, youngster. What message do you have for me today? How are you today? Converse with this child if you feel the inspiration to do so. Where is your child at emotionally? What do they need from you? What do they want to tell you? Take a deep breath. Ooh, I feel lots of good energy moving. Keep breathing. And as you wrap up this interaction with your child, and you're getting ready to part ways, maybe you carry them with you, you put them in your heart, you hug them, maybe they run off to go play, and you close that door and it fades away. And you carry the message with you. Taking a deep breath. Coming back to your present space, thanking your team for creating that sacred space for you. Come on back to the room where you are. Thank you. She says, beautiful and much love. Yes. It's a super simple meditation. You don't need to lead you through it if you decide to do it again, because there's all kinds of versions of us as children. I always thought there was one inner child. There's many versions of us at any point in time that we've experienced something. The first time I did that particular one, the little girl, she was about 2 or 3, and she was sobbing. I'm forgetting, I'm forgetting, I'm forgetting, and I knew exactly what she meant. I'm forgetting my connection. Forgetting my connection to the divine. And I hugged her and I held her and I said, we're going to do this together. And the next time I did it, it was a slightly different meditation. I hear her say, I'm remembering. So it was super powerful. So anytime that maybe you don't know what's happening, ask the child. Or whatever version shows up for you, ask them. And then be okay with whatever comes through. If they're upset, honor their upset. If they're happy, honor their happy. Part of that is the reparenting, and part of that is allowing us to be wherever we are in the moment. I don't have to change what I'm feeling or what the child is feeling. And we often do that. We want to distract or do something else, or hug the fear away, or hug the anger away, or hug the tears away. Let them have their moments. Well, we can have our moments. Let it be okay. The feelings aren't forever. And feelings are not fact. It's also important not to dismiss them. They are revealing something. Part of that integration is allowing ourselves to be where we are. Feel what you feel. When you've gotten through the feeling, then you can look at, is there something next? Is there an action to take? Or is there something to just rest and be and cry and, get all snotty and blow my nose? Or is it time to go laugh and have fun? It's all medicine. It's all medicine for our healing. But when I don't know here, I can ask the child. And the child will never lie. They don't have it in them. Any questions? Let me pull. Which one? Let's do this one. Pull her from this one. The Golden Future, Diana Cooper. She said, ice cream. I love me some ice cream. Ice cream. Isn't it? I scream, you all scream, we all scream for ice cream. Is that how that went? That's what I heard. We love our ice cream. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Tomorrow is the final day of this portal. I was listening to something else earlier and talking about what's next, or what's the next thing to do, and I'm like, let me look at how to do shorts on YouTube. All right, number 19, which is sexuality. This has been such a blessing. Oh, thank you. You're very, very welcome. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Yes, yes, yes. Sexuality, express pure love. That's it. And that doesn't have to be sexual. It can be sensual. It can be that child is expressing pure love. I'm walking a fine line on that because many of us have been violated in that. So pure love. Take the express pure love. An unconditional space of love. And give that to yourself. The number 19. Sacral chakra of love and the navel chakra of oneness are two separate centers encapsulated within one large one. When they are balanced and energy flows perfectly between them, people understand and experience higher love. They also develop pure clairsentience. Love is an energy. And when we're in that pure state of love, it's an energy, it's a vibration. Sometimes there's an action and an expression through our deeds and what we do, but often it's simply being in that state. Embodying, embracing pure love. Guidance. Receiving this card suggests it is time to develop the higher chambers of your sacral chakra. The lessons here include caring for others, giving love, and sharing love. The final lesson is about nurturing and supporting a baby or any vulnerable creature with tenderness. When you do so, your sacral chakra glows with transcendent beauty. It reminds you that pure love of any kind is special. And since we're talking about the inner child, I would say it gives that to your inner child as well. All right, lovelies. Stay tuned if you are interested in hanging out in this kind of chamber, this kind of sacred space. I have a group called the Empath Channel. I'm opening the doors. I'll put the link in here. If you're interested in checking that out, I'll put the link in here. You can look at it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Or if you know that you want to do that, you can reach out to me for that. But I'll go in there and shift the description to add that in there so you can take a look. And that will officially open on Wednesday, but you can sign up anytime between now and then. All right, lovelies. It is. It is. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of this day. And I will be here tomorrow for day 10. All right. I love you all very much. I'm very grateful to be here with you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.